Oh, how's everybody doing? What's up? What's good? Where is my phone? Okay, JL, what's going on, man? I had you on the schedule to hit you up today, and I just never got to it because Thanksgiving stuff kind of got in the way. But we'll get it sorted soon. I just don't want it to be one of those things where I keep talking about doing it and I never do it. You know? See, I think that's going to be the best foot angle here. And I don't think I would have figured that out if I had tried to cram this in yesterday. So yay for little breaks. So I need to do like a Colt revolver for old Spawny boy here. That's going to be one of the most complex part of this. Yeah, this is why traditional is better, right? You always save. The work is always saved. See, finding that anger. Yeah, so Phil the Barber on Whatnot asks if we have any plans for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Yes, so we do, and I say like we've done this so many times, but this is our second year. So me and I have this group of friends here. There's basically 3 couples and a girl that have been the most consistent in the group, but every once in a while we'll have a person come in and join or fall off or whatever. But this group gets together for most events, unless one of us happens to move away, because we all happen to move to Portland like almost all at the same time and kind of found each other through odd circumstances. One of the most interesting thing about that is one of the husbands of the couples was actually best friends with my former best friend as well. And like he and I had hung out and met and stuff through various events surrounding our mutual best friend, but he and I were not necessarily close separate from our mutual best friend. And he happened to move here almost like within a month or two of when we moved here. And we all kind of ended up getting together and all kind of becoming close. So anyway, we get together for birthdays and holidays and stuff. And we will be, last year we did our very first what we deemed to be steaks giving, which kind of was a happenstance kind of a thing, because we all made plans too late, because some of us were supposed to be gone and there was not going to be any plans, but then there were, and so getting a turkey together was going to be kind of a last minute thing, and so we decided to do steaks. And so now we immediately, after experiencing it, we're like, we're just going to make this a thing every year. So that's what we do. We get together, we do it just like Thanksgiving, but we do all steak. So I literally just got back from the store picking up these big juicy ribeyes, and then we do it up on the roof of our apartment complex, which is in the heart of downtown Portland. So we get this awesome view, get to grill out there on the roof, and you know, hang out with, we call each other our family. So it'll be a good time, man. Moved from Oklahoma. I lived there for 30 years of, at the time, my 36, 37 years. My wife was born and raised in Oklahoma. So, yeah. Elliot Blake, what's going on, brother? Okay, so this hand, the angle of this, So why Portland? That's a really good question. So essentially what happened at the time, it was kind of crazy, man. So my wife and I were on an evening walk, just kind of venting about, life in Oklahoma in general, you know, talking about how hard it was there and etc. And I kind of brought up how, I've been wanting to move out of Oklahoma quite literally since I was a teenager. And the only thing that held me back was I ended up having 2 kids and a divorce, and I wanted to be in their life. So it was like, if I wanted to be there, I needed to kind of suck it up and make it work, right? And so I did what I had to do to make it work. But at some point, my kids were older. They were in those teenage years where they kind of need you, but kind of don't. Like, you've kind of done the parenting, and you're more or less just like their chauffeur and their money machine at that point. Like, they're kind of making decisions on their own, and they don't necessarily want or need to be around you 24/7 like they do when they're younger. And so it was presenting this opportunity to, we just started talking about it, and all of a sudden it was like, well, I guess we could, like, the kids are old enough, like, they could either come stay with me, or they could choose to stay with their mom, or whatever. We could see how they feel, and like, what would we do, and if we were gonna go, like, where would we go? And I've been fortunate enough that I've traveled all over the country, many times. My mother's side of the family is, what's up, Brady? What's up, Grizz? Yeah, it's the Grizz. We're gonna make this one worth something. So my dad was born and raised in Cali, and his family, and I was born in Denver, Colorado, and most of his family, after California, kind of moved out to Cali, or to Colorado. My mom's side of the family is all East Coast, Florida, Georgia, Virginia. So done a lot of visiting out there. My ex before my current wife was from Jersey, so I had spent many trips out that way. And in all of my experience, I just felt like the West Coast was the most, just felt the most at home to me. And I knew that, like, it was probably unrealistic to move to California. Like, at the point we were in our lives, we were like, okay, so if we're going to Cali, where would we go? It's like, oh man, like, San Diego would be awesome, but like, I'm not trying to spend like, we weren't in a position to even consider a place like that financially. And then we were also, I'm a hippie artist, and like, as cool as that place is, like, generally speaking, Cali feels a little too concerned about appearances, keeping up with the Joneses and stuff, kind of a thing. I felt like would be problematic. What kind of car do you drive? And just a little more shallow. And so, and a buddy of mine had lived in, not directly in Portland, I don't remember what city he lived in now, but it was down here. And he had talked about how much he liked it. My best friend had moved here to Oregon, to Salem, which is like 45 minutes south of Portland, 45 minutes south. And he loved it, and so it was like, okay, so like maybe we should consider, maybe Portland would be cool. And so I did some, had some conversations with those friends, and I was like, you know, what do you think of it? And he was basically like, have you ever watched Portlandia? I was like, no. And he's like, well, watch Portlandia, that's what it's like. He's like, it's exactly like Portlandia. So we watched Portlandia and kind of started talking about it, and man, within a few months we were making legit plans. I had proposed to her already at this point, so we were talking about getting married, and then it was like, okay, well, maybe we can use our wedding, like, have people that would normally spend money on gifts, like, don't give us money, like, help us move, or don't buy us gifts, help us fund our move to Portland, which didn't really end up working out very well. Not very many people gave us very much money, but we just made it happen, man. We went from a 3-bedroom house with an art room and a 2-car garage full of woodworking tools and all my art supplies, and I had lived in that house for 10 years with 2 kids, so it was a packed house, and we turned it into, we sold everything. Anything that couldn't fit in a 5x8 pull trailer didn't come. So we basically had a dresser, my computer equipment, our clothes, my art, a bunch of my art stuff, and like the handful of nostalgic things that we thought mattered. So we packed all that up, moved cross country, having literally no money. I think when we, the last couple grand we had in our pocket, we used to get our apartment when we moved here, and didn't have any jobs or anything. So I wouldn't do it again that way. It was probably not the smartest way to move cross country, but you know, the way we looked at it when we did it was like, you know, if we're gonna consistently struggle to live, let's at least struggle to live somewhere that we enjoy struggling to live, you know. So that's what we did, and I mean, it was a insane grind for the first, definitely for the first year. Like, I worked probably 14 to 16 hours a day, like 7 days a week, with maybe 1 day off a month for about 6 months. Yes, so Ren, when Ren was younger, Ren stayed back with his mother in Oklahoma, Did great in school, did all that. Logan, my other son, kind of had a hard time with school. Like, he was great at school for a long time, and then he just got to the place where he was like, I don't like school, I don't care about school, I'm not doing school. So we had some issues there for a while, but since he's graduated and got out of school and moved out on his own, like, everything's significantly better. I have a great relationship with my kids. Ren has came and visited a few times, but since college started, that's been less frequent, and I've gone out there to see him because he's trying to be a environmental engineer, and it's just a crazy workload, and trying to travel here is just too hard. And you know, he sacrificed and came here for, you know, like 3 years, 4 years, but the last 2 years, 2.5 years now, I've gone to visit him. No, my wife and I do not have kids, knock on wood. In fact, that was a big thing that I was looking for in a partner, was somebody that was okay with me having kids, but did not necessarily want any of their own. And because, you know, I had kids when I was 21, 20 and 22, I think, was how old I was when they were born. Something like that. And so I never really had a chance to, like, establish myself or, you know, work on my own career. Like, I made ends meet and I did what I had to do, but like, there's only so much you can do when you're a full-time parent. You know, I was the stay-at-home dad more than my ex. I was the one that went and picked him up from school every day. I was the one that went to all the events. You know, I was the dad amongst all the moms. So it was very hard to dedicate time to myself and my career. But, you know, I got them on their feet and got them to a place where they were grown and capable and smart and all that. So I did my job, and that enabled me to be able to send them on their way and do their own thing, and let me finally take time in my own life to chase my, like, to properly chase my career. Look at you now, big dog. Yeah. Brady's a young, old 24-year-old making art, selling feet pics. Todd working hard. Yeah, man, I gotta make that money somehow, right? 26 and 25, yeah. Yeah, 20, mine is 20, Logan's about to turn 23? 2023, yeah. He's a Christmas Eve baby. And then Ren just turned 21 September 8th. Yeah, Phil had Jesus babysitting his kids. I didn't know making too much money was a problem. Yes, it is. You have to make sure you give it to all your children. You have to have children, and then they take all of your money. That's how it works. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I made it very clear, like my son in particular, Logan, the one that moved back here with me, who was kind of, living life on his own terms, even as a, very young man. I was like, if you want to follow your own rules and do your own thing and not listen to your mother and I, like, you definitely don't have to. Like, that's a choice you can make. But just know that means when it comes time and you graduate, like, you're on your own. And it's not to be rude or mean, but it's just like the benefit of listening to your parents is your parents take care of you because you're following their decisions. But if you want to do your own decisions, that's, you're going to be a young man very soon, and that's something that you've got to decide if that's what you're going to do. And if that's what you decide to do, that is 100% fine, but you've got to live with those consequences. And I think he thought maybe I was bluffing. So it was a little rough at first, but he learned really quick and got his act together and is out there kicking butt now, doing his own thing, living life on his own terms. Yeah, man, you know, I get it. I was, you know, when I kicked him out, I was fully prepared for him to not talk to me maybe forever. But I just tried to trust that at some point he would come around, and it did not take him nearly as long as I thought it would. So I'm super grateful. Hey, Joey, what's up, bud? Some women don't want the money, they want your time. Yeah, right? By the way, Phil, I went ahead and ordered a second Spider-Man blank that I had guaranteed for next week for delivery, just to make sure that we get something going for you. I don't want you waiting too long, man. Todd Beats Fairlane. Dude, I'll take that compliment. Joe, you know, it genuinely means a lot to me that you pop in here and watch, man, and that you don't just come in and say, hey, like you actually hang out for a bit. So thanks, boss. I'm beginning to think we should consider doing another project that's just for Joey Lee Cabral. So for those that don't know, and I've told this story on my other accounts a couple times and here a couple times, but so bro, I get bummed when I miss them. Your perspective and angles are way out of the box. Dude, like, you know how much I love your work, so the fact that you also enjoy mine gives me a little lady boner. So for those that don't know, Joey, I credit a couple people for getting me back into art. And not just back into art, but like helping me shift my total mindset about art. One is Dan Fraga. He worked at Extreme Studios with Rob Liefeld back in the day in the 90s. I ended up finding him on Instagram, and he would do these very brief timed quick sketches that I really liked and whatever. And then he started like posting like freestyle raps for some reason. I say for some reason, and that's what my mindset was at the time. Like, why are you doing freestyle raps, dude? And so I, you know, he had all these followers. I commented, you know, thinking I'm being, you know, anonymous and cool and whatever. And I was like, nobody wants to hear your freestyle raps, dude. Something like that. Something to that effect. And he just very matter-of-factly, calmly responded, not defensively, not like angry at me, didn't like try to talk trash back at me, but he was basically just like, hey man, you know, I've been told my whole life what I can and can't do and what I should and shouldn't do, and all due respect, I didn't listen to anybody back then, and I'm not going to listen to anybody now, and I respect your opinion, but I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And it just, you know, kind of shook me up, made me take a little more consideration. First of all, to not run my mouth to a stranger and act like he owes me as his fan of one thing to do just that one thing. And then just how calmly and confidently he responded about chasing his own dreams, which was something that, you know, at the time I had taken a break on because I was in Portland at the time, you know, and I had kind of taken a hiatus on my art because I was so fried, and I think I was just bitter in a lot of ways about that. Anyway, and then Joey Lee, who is in here, you know, I came across his work, and I think I saw, the way I've described it is, he was good, but in my totally arrogant, unjustified, pompous opinion, he wasn't as good as he was getting credit for. So I felt like he was getting more attention than he deserved. And I kept falling, you know, deep in the shadows. I didn't, you know, I just kept watching, just, you know, doing like trolls do. And eventually his stuff started getting really good. Like, I started seeing his stuff and it was getting better and better and better. And it kind of made me go, oh, like, this dude is posting stuff, and yeah, maybe it's good, maybe it's not good, but it is undeniable that his consistent effort is making his work better and better. And it was pretty cool because I think it was TikTok. I'm pretty sure it was TikTok, wasn't it, Joey? If you're still in here, he ended up popping in one of my lives. You know, I hadn't reached out to him or anything. He just happened to pop in, and he was seeing my stuff, and I was like, "Are you Joey Lee Cabral from Instagram?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, at that time, I had kind of turned over a new leaf, attitude-wise, as far as my work goes. And I was like, dude, I'm actually a fan of yours, and you don't know this, but like, you're a big reason why I got into this whole thing and got back into this craft and stuff. And then over time, he and I interacted, and Joey's awesome, super chill dude, humble, funny. But I got this comic last year, and they were talking about colors, and I was like, I know exactly who should do our colors. So I hit Joey up, and we ended up getting to work on the project together. And man, it just took off from there. So anyway, good stuff. Literally first conversation, yeah. Hey, I'm Todd, I used to hate you. Hey, I used to hate you for no good reason. Nice to meet you. Oh, dude. And the fact that he wasn't like all like, ugh, like, who's this guy? It's good stuff, man. And then he's been like super helpful on a lot of advice as I've been kind of getting bigger and busier, and especially in those early days when I was still getting my footing. And I'm brutally honest as a person, to a positive and a negative degree, for sure. And I don't like, you know, a lot of people are like, I'm honest. It's like, oh, you might just be an asshole. But yes, Joey does sell on Whatnot. If he's still, I'm going to answer for him. And yes, you should follow him and pick up some of his stuff. Go watch his lives. His technique is fantastic, very mesmerizing to watch. He's much faster than me. Every time I think I'm getting really good, I go watch Joey's stuff, and he's just gone on another level, and I'm like, damn it, Joey, I'm trying to beat you, and you keep making it impossible. Art is so personal, and it's hard when we aren't where we want to be, but we see someone who is. It's part of us growing now. We know we all struggle. 100%. It's we see what we like, and our taste has not evolved, or our skills have not evolved to match our taste. And so honestly, that's the hardest part, is to develop the actual skill. Anybody can have taste, anybody can have an opinion about a thing, but ultimately it is your ability to grind it out and be able to execute on your taste. That is the true mark of being an artist. It's like I told my son back in the day, because he was wanting to start a critics thing. He wanted to be a critic. And I was like, well, I mean, you can certainly be a critic, but just understand that it doesn't take anything. It's not special to be a critic. Anybody can have an opinion. Now, if you want to be a critic to develop your ability to write well, like that is a skill. Being able to write well is a skill. But just having an opinion about why somebody should do something or not do something, or why somebody is good or bad or whatever. Like, that's not a thing. I just want to be able to draw Juggernaut in perfect perspective. Yeah, don't we all? Eyes on the prize, what's going on, man? Okay, I think this is pretty much there. Now what I want to make sure I do, the pose is great, but I want to put some atmosphere in here somewhere, somehow. Some smoke or something. I'll cut hair and just buy stuff from the Beats, man. I will take it. All right, that's good enough for me. Let's start inking. Cheers to anybody that likes a Mezcal Mule. The Mezcal Mule is? Or Moscow Mules are. I know Moscow Mules are pretty popular. But we kind of started doing the Mezcal on our own, like separate, suddenly. I really feel that I buy from you before McFarlane just because you're hungry. You really feel? I'm trying to find some artists for work. I pay. If you're interested, DM me. Eyes on the prize, I will not remember to DM you directly after this. I'm of course interested in work. So shoot me a message and we'll talk and see if we can figure out how we can get you handled, taken care of. But you came at the right time because my commission list is finally starting to get cleared out. You can do IG or here. Instagram is at Todd Beats. If you're more comfortable there, you can. My website, toddbeats.com, is also available. There's a contact sheet there. Email is toddbeats.art@gmail.com. when you're hungry, you work 20 times harder than just doodling to make a dime. I would somewhat agree with that. For sure. I think that I'm, at least at this point in my career, I'm more interested in working to see how good I can get. And that's really what personally drives me. Everything else is kind of a bonus. So, but I will say this, there was a time in my life where if I would have gotten more attention at a younger age, it probably would have been detrimental to my actual skills. So I'm glad that things went the way they went. As hard as it was, as brutally difficult and challenging as it was, I'm very happy with where I am right now. So. Phil, I appreciate you, man. I will say this, I'm enjoying, you know, and I talked about this a lot on my TikTok. Like, I'm happy that I get to respond to everybody. Like, I'm big enough that people are paying attention to me, but I'm not so big that I can't give everybody that asked me a question attention. I can still respond, and there is going to come a time where I can't. Like, it'll just be impossible. So I'm stoked to, you know, like you and, you know, Augie, Roy Singleton, who's on here. That's how you guys know him. I know him as Augie Doggy. Guys like that, like, you guys are the ones that I'm going to remember. Yeah, it's the Grizz, G Dog Drill, JL, you know, my early supporters that were here before I was anything of anything special, really. Or let me put it another way, I was not, you guys weren't following me or didn't start following me because everybody else was already following me. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real deal Holyfield stuff. On the note, I really think you would do your best to still do, but maybe not as long and detailed. On the note, I really think you would do your best to still do, but maybe not as long and as detailed. Are you trying, like, I'll get quicker? Is that what you're meaning? Answer us when you are too big to care. Lol. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like I would never care. Like, and that's one of the things I actually really appreciate about McFarlane is he's still so good about caring about the fans and supporting the fans and doing his best to show his appreciation there and do cool stuff, and not act like, you know, he's too cool to talk to anybody or whatever. But there's also like, there's what you want to do, and then there's just what is realistic. You know, when you're getting 100,000 requests from people to look at their art, or, you know, everybody and their grandmother thinks that they can help you with your movie or your thing. Like, at some point, it's just like I would love to think that I would be able to be like, I'm never gonna forget the little guy, but like, it's just not realistic. Like, you have to get to a place where you start editing your time and making more selective choices about where you spend it, if you want to do the things that like you dream and strive to do, you know? Like, I would love to do everybody's art project for pennies on the dollar and make their dreams come true and stuff, but like, you just can't. Yeah, and who with? That's right, Augie. Like, that's what I was talking to my wife about for like whatever my next project is gonna be. Like, I'm kind of ready to take on a project that is bigger than what I'm capable of doing currently, and where I'm not the one kind of helping the other people understand like how things work, and be the one that's like, wait, now how do I do this? What do I do? How do I do? Help me with this? Show me what? Show me what? Like, I want to be the annoying one that's learning. When does your time become less valuable than their time get paid? Big Pen. Yeah. And not, yeah. And it's more like kind of the way I look at it is, it's not about my time being more valuable than theirs as much as it's like, I feel like I can tell the difference at this stage between people that say they want it and people that actually want it. Because there is a very, very stark contrast in attitude and action between people that say they want it and people that actually want it. Augie, you're not annoying. You're just a procrastinator, bro. I don't think it's annoying when people take their own time, but it is what it is, you know? And I'm speaking from experience. I used to talk and think very differently about what it actually takes to do this thing. And it's just a very different, it sounds like common sense. Like, well, duh. Like, of course, that's of course. But when you actually put it into action, when you're actually it's just different, man. You don't let things, and I'm gonna say this with all due respect, bro, because you know I love you to death. But you don't let things like, oh, my art studio isn't ready yet, that's why I haven't done this. Like, you don't need an art studio. You need a table and paper, and that's it. Like, when I started this thing, I didn't have a special desk. I didn't have an art studio. I had a table that I put my stuff on, and I held my phone in my hand, and that was it. You know? But it also depends on like what you're going for. If you're just trying to do it as a hobby, that's very different than if you're legit trying to be a professional. And like legit trying to be a professional, like you can't let anything stop you from doing the stuff you need to do. Because even when you become a professional, things are going to try to stop you from doing what you need to do. And you got to learn how to do stuff anyway. JL, I try, man. You know, I used to run my mouth a lot more on the other platforms about this stuff. I don't do it nearly as much here because, like, it's not really what people are on Whatnot for. People are on Whatnot to buy and be collectors, and you know, they're like, I'm not trying to do things. Like, I like my job. I like going to work 40 hours a week and then coming home on the weekend and dropping $100 of my money on things that I enjoy entertaining me. Well, Jojo, I hope I offer some that is of value. Tell 25-year-old kids too, I run circles around them, and I'm 53, and sorry to say, experience is better than young and inexperienced. Well, like, ultimately what it breaks down to is, like, if the universe couldn't hear your thoughts, what would it determine you want based on your actions? Joey, love you, man. I'll see you later, bro. And I think you and I, dude, before you go, I think you and I need to consider finding a project you and I can do together. I don't know if we need to come up with a writer or if we need to write our own stuff, but I'm starting to feel like you and I need to do something, some sort of project together that is ours. And yeah, also have a great Thanksgiving. Stop thinking about work and what I'm telling you. Putting me to shame with your consideration there, Phil the barber. P. Hill the barber. If I had the knowledge when I started my law enforcement career at 21, I would be unstoppable. I worked hard to be where I am. Yeah, same, dude. I think that's the same with most people, right? What's the phrase? Youth is wasted on the young. Yeah, bro, but that's how we figure things out, right? There's a period of time where we think we know what we're doing and we start acting on that delusion. And then life comes around and just does its thing and is like, you're misguided, my friend. But like, literally nobody can tell you otherwise. There's a reason. It's not like our parents didn't say, or parents or teachers or, you know, role models or whatever. Like, they all tell us what we need to hear. We just don't believe them. You know, we have such a limited experience of life. We go around and we start acting like, oh, because like the way you guys just don't know how it works actually. And I'm gonna show you, and you know, they get out in life and then they go, oh, that's what it was. Like that's what mom and dad was talking about. That's what that guy was talking about. When I lost my wife to cervical cancer 10 years ago, I see life differently. I think about her and will always love her no matter what. She fought to jail. That's tough, man. Fought to the very end. That's rough, bro. I think we've talked about that. I feel like we have. But it never gets easier to hear. I'm sure it never gets easier to think about, right? Jojo Grant, yeah, I did prove a lot of people wrong, though, and also made a lot of mistakes, too. JL, she died in my arms. It's very hard, brother. Ugh. Man. I'm sorry, dude. All you can do is try to honor the legacy, right? Be a better man and yeah, dude. None but love there, dude. Hard times make strong men, though. Very strong now, but I want to die every day for almost 6 months. Yeah. Phil the Barber, I'm so glad you're with us, brother. And if it wasn't for my mom, I would not be here. We gotta have at least one person we trust that tells us, like, you're gonna be okay. And not only are you gonna be okay, but you're gonna be better and more capable. Like when I went through my divorce from the mother of my kids, I was very contemplative of exiting this mortal coil, so to speak. And the thing that kept me going was whether she ever wants me back or not, I'm going to come out on the other side of this thing a better man. And you know, the wife I have now is far more than anything I could have ever imagined I deserved or could have gotten. And I am extremely grateful that I went through everything I went through to get her. Because she's my best friend and life is extremely good, and we just continue to as a team blow my mind with what we keep achieving and how we keep growing and the life we're doing together. It's very, very awesome. Yes, my wife is much hotter now. My new wife is way hotter. and more importantly, she's not a bitter, angry person like my ex was. Moving on up. Yeah, dude. Behind every great man is a great woman. Yep. Or maybe another great man. You know, want to be PC these days. She married you because she knows you can draw a sick 10-gallon cowboy hat on a Spawn. Yep, that was her big attraction. She was like, yeah, you're cute and all, but can you draw Hellspawn? It's a niche fetish, yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Out of all the comic characters I love and hate, have art from Spawn is the only one my lady likes. Is that right? Pass the age-old Spawn test, I see. Hey boys, I think we have a keeper. Now, has she told you, or can you describe what it is that she likes in particular about old Spawny Boy? JL, nothing but love for you, dude. Seriously, man. I hope you have a great holiday. Keep your head up and keep being the great man that she knew you were. John Leguizamo's clown is why she likes Spawn. I appreciate that, Phil. I only play a tough guy on TV. And she likes other characters, but she hates how artists overdo certain regions. What do you mean by regions? Oh. I mean, it's what we do, right? Like, it's not like we're exclusively over-exaggerating female boobs. Like, the male bodies we draw are just as unrealistic as the female bodies we draw. But I get it. I mean, there's some that do that, man. Have you ever seen Paolo Pantalena? His dudes? Like, I mean, he gives those dudes some hogs, bro. I've had more than one guy comment on my posts about the cakes I give, you know, the cakes I give my dudes. Apparently I draw very full man butts. Nightwing got cake. Exactly. We're not partial. It's the Grizz, you're good. Facebook, just do a search, a stream, and then there's a guy on TikTok that can do it. I want to go to a hat shop. Oh yeah, man. And you don't have to do TikTok. They definitely have that same guy and others are on Instagram as well. I would just do like do a hashtag search for hat maker, and you will probably find all kinds of stuff. Every time I hear this, sounds like clowns come out. What, this song? Bro, you dogging my music, bro? You love it and clowns. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Holmes. All right, I think that's pretty good for the base inks here. Oops. I think I don't think I'm gonna do the rest of the hardcore inks on this one. I'm gonna let it breathe for a little bit, but I'm down to do another little quickie piece if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, something they'd like to see. A little 6x9 quickie to wrap up the night. Do a little cool down. So if you guys got anybody you want to see, any characters, give myself some time to chill on this one. Oops, see? Chick with some cakes. I'm not totally opposed. I do have that Power Girl and I have a Wonder Woman blank, but probably something on a 6x9. Dude, this is looking pretty good, man. Honestly, better than I thought it would. You know, and I believe in myself and all that, but this is dope. This is dope, bro. That's dope, son. We'll get the fully detailed inks and stuff in there probably tomorrow. Oh, nope, probably Friday. Maybe later, because, oh, I've not been mentioning it, but everybody pay attention to Friday's live. Go save Friday's live. I'm going to be doing a Saturday live. Whatnot is also doing a very awesome no commission on sales from Thursday at 11 to Friday at 11 p.m. So that means I won't have to pay commission fees of 8%, which will be an extra nice bonus. I'm gonna open up 10 spots per day for those 2 days for black and gray 6x9s. Probably won't offer any bloodies or anything like that at the prices I'm gonna be offering. I'm thinking like 40 bucks. So limited spots at $40 or so for Friday's show. I'm gonna do 10 spots each day. So save that show and come in, and if you want something for yourself or for friends and family or, you know, whatever, that would be the time to do it. Because we're gonna grind it out, get a ton of new work in, and have some fun over a couple days. Friday and Saturday. I don't have Saturday's show posted yet, but Friday's is on there. It's probably, I would be surprised if it's not more than one session, since I'm doing 10. We may hang out on my breaks and like talk on camera while I'm kind of going in between pieces. But if you're into it, save it, etc. Oh, also wanted to show you guys, I printed up some of the mini prints. I gotta cut these up first. There's the Invincible mini print set. That mini print set's 40. I think I have, so I've got the Ninja Turtles. Can you give us a taste of what's in your new comic book coming out? Yeah, I can do that, man. There's the He-Man set. And then there's the leftovers. So I've got Splinter and Shredder from the Ninja Turtle set, the Battle Cat, and then I threw in a zombie trooper as well. All right. Let's take a look at some of the... Oh, Ducks, what's up, dude? Haven't been on live in a while, but I do watch them when they get uploaded. It's always good. Thank you, dude. Good to see you, man. Sorry, YouTube was real quiet there, so I kind of stopped paying attention. Let's see. Let me open up the... Well, crap. Hold on. Stay with me, see? All right, give that just a second to upload so I can get it here on the iPad. I will do a quick scan. I'm not gonna hang out there too long in detail, but I'll show you guys some of the comic and some of the stuff that Joey and I did. What price area are you thinking for that Gunslinger when it's done? Hopefully by then I'll have financially recovered from this week's splurge. It's the Grizz, I'm not sure, man. I'm kind of debating on that. JL sold the Gunslinger Spawn blank that I did for him for like 500 bucks. And I may have him sell it on eBay and see if I can get in that 550 to 6 range for this one, especially since it's kind of an homage. Yeah, the blank's a lot, so it's not going to be cheap. I'm thinking somewhere around there. So if you're like hardcore on it and you really want it, we can talk. I might put it up for auction on here, but if he can get me 400 or 500 bucks, I think it's one of 1,000, man. Let's see. Yeah, it's just one of 1,000. So they're super limited. Yeah. What I will do, Grizz, is, no, you're good, Phil, is I'll let you in on it. Like, I'll let you know when I post it, and if you decide you want to go bid over there, you can. And if it doesn't get any traction, no big deal. I'll probably sell it for a bit less, but I would hate to sell this for $200 or $300 and find out that I could sell it for 5 or 6. Especially if this turns out as cool as I'm thinking it's going to turn out. Because it's looking super good right now. Like, way better than I thought it would. But I also have these black gunslingers, and I might do these a bit more at a more reasonable price. All right, the comic PDF is uploading right now. Give me just a second. Mama needs a new house. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for the 6x9, other than, we can do someone with cake, but maybe more specific. I'm down to get something to go there. Come on. Okay. So, cover. This was the original cover design I did. I also designed the logo. I'm not gonna hang out on the pages too long because I don't want you guys to not have to pay for it. The comic is somewhat based in, it's not, it's kind of an, it's a, you screenshot everything. No! It's a semi-alternative world. So it's like familiar, but it's not the same exactly. Of course, you guys can see all the fingerprints on here. And so this is where Joey's work starts to come in. So that's kind of where I'm going to stop. But basically what happens in the, he just did color. He just added color to my art. And even then I ended up doing like a significant chunk of like the value work. I wasn't gonna, cause he was like, you don't need to do the values, bro. And then I didn't do the values, and he was like, hey, can you add your values back in? But the PDFs that the digital copies that we have, we added a bunch of like bonus content and other stuff. Nice, dude. Yeah, Joey's awesome, man. He's super awesome. I'm very, very happy to have become friends with that guy, for sure. Yeah, I'm proud of it, man. I'm proud of that book, dude. I worked my freaking butt off on it. So I'm very excited to have it in my hands and be able to actually show people and What book? Jay Wood, my comic Paratrauma. We just kind of did a quick scan through a little bit on what I've, you know, just a little bit of the work that I did for it. I'll be getting copies available for sale hopefully next week, the week after at the latest, I would think. Yeah, yes. It'll be, again, it'll be available for me to, I won't have a ton of copies, but we'll definitely have some, and once those sell, we will definitely be doing a second print run. I have no idea. At this point, I was told to draw a woman, and the horn dogs in the room were wanting one that had quote unquote cake. So that's where I'm at. I kind of need suggestions on who it's going to be, actually. Amen. Walking Dead, what's going on, man? Raven, she's a teenager, you perv. Yeah, let's, maybe if I'm doing this particular type of drawing, we can have it be an adult woman. Come on, fellas, don't make me pick somebody on my own. Emma Frost could be cool. I'd like it to be a female that I haven't drawn. I did do an Emma Frost not too long ago. Maybe we could do like Stormy Daniels. Poison Ivy could be cool. Who was I thinking just a minute ago? Could maybe be Gwen Stacy isn't bad. Mystique, maybe. I've done Storm recently, ish. Ooh, hero. Females. Catwoman. Harley Quinn. Jean Grey. This could definitely be Power Girl. Adam Eve is a little bit still on the young side. Let's see, Mystiques. Let's see how she's portrayed in the comics. Yeah, let's do Mystique real quick. Julian, as soon as this one's done, I'm probably done. And by the way, Julian, so go check out my Friday show. Make sure you save that. I'm going to be doing 10 spots at a discounted rate for my 6x9s for my Black Friday kind of sale. So if you're interested, save that show and hop on that day. Well, he's not totally done, but it's looking awesome. Yeah, it's looking really good, dude. KKKKK. That's a verbal agreement. Send Beats 1K plus shipping. Yeah, $1,000, and make sure you send me the extra 20 for shipping too, because I'm not covering that if you give me $1,000. Julian, technically any size you want. I tend to do the 6x9s, are probably my most popular. That's what I sell the most of because it's super affordable and attainable for most people. But I like doing 9x12s and 11x17s are also really popular for me. But if you have something in mind that's that you'd like to see, we can definitely make something happen, man. Yeah, the 6x9 is by far the best bargain, man. All right, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm starting to get a little fried here. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this one or not. Phil, have a good one, man. Have a great holiday. Enjoy yourself. Love your family, and I'll see you on Friday, man. Bring your money. I don't yet. It'll be. I'll start fairly early in the day. It definitely will not be late, because if I'm doing 10 pieces, I need to get started early. So probably I would think probably around 10 o'clock my time, which would be somewhere in the 1 o'clock your time range. Mr. J Hot, thanks, man. I'll always consider it a bonus if people know who it is before I say anything. On P83, what's up, my man? All right, anybody on here thinking about grabbing this? Mr. Jayhawk, thanks, man. No, all good, dude. It's not a pressure thing, just a question. Thanks, Phil. Hi.
Hi.
You ready for food?
Juno's sitting by the door.
Okay.
So I was gonna see how close you were.
Very.
Okay.
All right, guys, that is my cue. Doggy needs to go out. I'm already toast. We'll look at maybe auctioning this off on Friday, possibly. But that was fun. Good sesh. For those that didn't see, we worked on the Gunslinger Spawn. Turned out awesome. Still got plenty of ink work to do here to make, bring in the blacks and the values and stuff, but the base line work right now is looking pretty slick. Very, very happy with that. Y'all be good. Have a great Thanksgiving.